Hello everybody, my name is Raj Wadhwani and I'm the president of ContactCenterWorld.com, the world's largest association for contact center and customer engagement best practices. You may know of us, we have over 200,000 members in 200 countries. Now, the world has changed. COVID-19 or the coronavirus has changed the way we work and live forever. It's a killer of people and working practices, and now we are facing challenges that our world has never experienced before. Whilst in the past there have been pandemics and viruses, the massive impact on us all is, well, staggering. Even when the pandemic is over, some things will never be the same. The way we work, the way we live will be different. But we will survive and over time get used to a new way of working, a new order. Right now though, many of us face uncertainty causing anxiety, and it's worse for those who are isolated. Disclaimer: I'm not a psychologist or have any medical training apart from first aid experience and rescue diver skills, and these do not make me an expert in this subject matter. However, I hope the ideas and information in this webinar may help those who want some ideas on how to cope with the current situation and challenges we face today. Now, this is not intended to be a substitute for professional healthcare advice, and I encourage anyone who really needs help to contact healthcare professionals for assistance. Now on to the first tip: create a routine. If you get into a routine for anything, it can help make you feel better. For example, if you set times every day to have lunch, just as you would maybe at work. Also maybe a time to do some exercise or read a book. These will all help. It doesn't have to be a routine for every single day either. It could be some things you do on certain days, maybe once, twice, or a couple of times a week. A routine is a plan, and a plan helps you stay on track. You don't have to stick to it perfectly either, and don't beat yourself up if you don't. Just use it as a kind of reminder of things you could be doing. Moving on is wake up to a schedule. Try and get up around the same time each and every day. It helps keep you focused. Next is eat well. It's a good time to think about what you can change in your diet. Think about foods you can eat that will give you some energy. Also, where possible, a good mix of fresh food if it's available. Now that's not always possible, but it's worth trying. It can also help if you create a meal schedule or a meal plan and think every day what you're going to have in your diet that day and the next day. Look at your kitchen, be creative, try some new recipes. Drink healthy is just that. Make sure you stay hydrated with water and don't go to excess with things like tea, coffee, alcohol. Sometimes it's a little bit too easy to drink too much, and you'll often, as you know, feel much worse for it. Okay, it's not a new year, but think about all those New Year resolutions you made. Maybe last year or the year before. Think about all those ideas that you had, things you're going to do differently. Maybe it's a good time. I know it's not New Year, but maybe it's a good time to try again if you can. Now, you can't easily get away from all the news, and sometimes all we hear is bad news. So consider limiting your intake of news to shorter times. And maybe first thing in the morning or after lunch. Make a schedule of when you're going to listen to news, what works best for you. But remember, if watching the news makes you feel depressed, cut it way down. You know your tolerance, so stick within it. Now, most of us don't like the idea of cleaning up our home or our room, but actually there's some powerful and it's also very motivating when you walk into a nice, clean, tidy area. So take time, maybe every day, just a few minutes to do some tidying up or keep your house clean and your environment tidy. You don't have to go crazy and do a massive blitz. As I said, just sometimes a few minutes each day can make you feel so much better. One friend I know spent a few hours organising a massive DVD collection. That's how they tidied up. Okay, now on to some other physical stuff. Exercise. You may not be able to go out and you may not have any gym equipment, but think about what you can do. There's things that maybe you can do that are simple, you don't need any space. Maybe try some squats or have a look at some push-ups or sit-ups. Maybe if you have stairs, plan to walk up and down them a certain number of times a day. But set a daily goal. You don't have to go crazy, but just have a plan and do some exercise, and be careful. We're not giving you advice on what specific exercises to do, but please be careful so you don't get injured. We always think about physical exercise, but there's also mental exercise, mental health. Exercise your mind. Find some things that may challenge you, like crossword puzzles or other word games or other kinds of activities that will make you think. We all need brain games. Fresh air can be good for your health. If you can't go out into the open, maybe open some windows. Maybe if you have a balcony, go outside and get some fresh air. I know sometimes we can't go out because we are prohibited from venturing out and to get some fresh air. But think about what you can do. And obviously you want to make sure the air is clean, and by opening your windows you're going to get nice fresh air. Now if you're working from home, maybe consider setting up a work area. It may make you feel better if you actually think about, well, I'm going to work now, and go and sit in a completely different part of your home. So it's good practice if you can to maybe just set up that work environment. Read some magazines, books, go online. Maybe think about learning something new or building your skills through reading. Take a look at some books you may have hanging around and pick them up. Read any that make you feel really good. Now this one's interesting. Write a story. Maybe you're at home because of the pandemic, and then maybe you want to keep a daily log of what's going on. So in future years, when you've got grandkids or you want to pass on information about what it was really like, you can refer to some notes and actually share some real anecdotes on what actually happened on what days, how you felt, but also what was going on in the world. So we never forget some of the challenges that we're facing today. One day, maybe you want to write a book. That's the other side of it. You don't know. There might be something in you that you can creatively write a book, and then one day it could be a bestseller. So just think about writing sometimes. It can be a real good way to relax, exercise the mind, and stay positive. Another thing you can do is find a podcast or audiobook. There's lots out there. Try and find something that makes you feel good or can stretch your mind, like whodunit, mysteries, or spy novels, so you can exercise your brain at the same time as listening. Draw or paint. Now you don't need to be an artist to do this. Maybe you want to learn to draw animals or objects. Maybe you want to try painting. Maybe you don't have any paints around apart from some old tins of paint. Well, maybe it's a good time to go and paint a room, or to just freshen up some other part of the house or the home. What about saying hello on social media? Maybe you already have a lot of friends and can easily keep in touch. But one of my staff said something kind of interesting. He contacts people who he may have had issues with in the past, just to say hi. And he's had a really positive reaction. So sometimes just saying hello can turn bad relationships into good ones. And social media is a really good way to stay in touch, especially now. What about learning a new language? Some of us love to travel, but maybe you had plans to go to a new country and all your plans got quashed recently. Well, now's a good time to maybe start learning a new language. Think of some words that you want to learn. And there's plenty of online programs out there. Some people I know plan to learn 2, 5 or 10 new words every day. It's a great way to stay focused, broaden your skills, and feel proud of your achievements. In this day, most of us have access to computers or tablets at home. Try learning a new program. Maybe look at what you'd like to do. Maybe you want to learn more about online graphics. So look at some online graphics programs. Or maybe you're like me, you want to learn how to touch type. There's a lot out there on the internet. Try some new programs. What about creating something at home? Maybe you want to build something. Or maybe you want to do some work on, fix something, a project, something that you were going to do a long time ago, you put to one side. Maybe for that rainy day, well, now you've got time. Maybe you can do that now. What about meditation? It's great for your mind. There are many online programs out there to help you learn to meditate, or maybe you already know. You can calm your mind through meditation, and it can have many health benefits, not just now when you need it, but also on an ongoing basis. It can help you relieve stress and make you a lot more relaxed and a lot more confident and comfortable. So have a look at what you can do with meditation. Now, what about tidying up your house? What about just clearing out some of the old stuff you don't use anymore? Maybe consider going into your closet or your wardrobe and taking out any clothes that don't fit you or you don't wear anymore. Put them in a bag and donate them when you're out of isolation. Think about all the good things that you can give away to charity. And maybe now is a good time to also get rid of old documents that you don't need anymore, maybe old gadgets that are broken. Take time to clean house, and it will make you a lot more productive and also confident and feel good. Earlier we spoke about eating well and trying something new. Well, maybe now is a good time to dig out some cookbooks, or if you don't have any, Google some recipes for food items you have at home. Try something new. One thing I like to do is to look at motivational quotes from others. There are so many millions out there online. Just search for motivational quotes and you'll find so many different things that you can read. You might also want to share some of them with some of your family and friends. We all need a bit of positivity, and sometimes sharing this is a really good way to do this. Many of us love to binge TV. These days you can access content on the internet or TV. Look at what you can watch and try some new programs. There is just so much out there, and you likely have some time now, so take advantage of binge TV. What about trying a new hobby? Something you may have considered in the past but never had time to. Or just Google hobbies to see what you can do at home, and you'll see what comes up. There's a long list of different things that you could try. Maybe it's just simple things like, I travel a lot, I have lots of spare change from trips I've been on. I could organise all my coins into different years and different countries. Maybe I want to build a collection from around the world. Maybe I have a camera. I want to pick it up and learn how to do photography. Maybe someone in the house has an instrument. I don't know how to play it, but maybe I could learn. There's also other things you could learn about. Maybe you have an interest in the weather and clouds and what they mean. Look at what you can do. Another thing you can do is play some online games that make you feel good when you win. Be careful though. Be careful of some games that charge you as you go through them. Look for something where you know that it's the costs, or if it's free, something that you can feel really good about. And strategy games are really good, where you build empires, for example. These can take a long time and can be a lot of fun and stretch your imagination. Have a must-do list to do. Don't just think of having a to-do list, but must do. Today, tomorrow, next week. It could be on Tuesday, put the garbage out, feed the dog every day. Have a list, and this will help you stay focused and keep positive. Like I say, just have a must-do list of essential items. It sounds simple, but so many people are their own worst critics. It's easy to think, if only I did this or only I did that. Don't think like that. Think about the good things you do, and do not think about what you didn't do. Okay, this is important and simple. If you walk past the mirror, attempt to smile. And if you don't think it was a good smile, try harder. Smiling makes you feel good and can help you when we feel down and isolated. And when you talk to people, smile and sound happy. It can be done even when you feel down. and they will love it. People love talking to positive people, and you'll always get a positive response. Following on from smiling is to be positive, and when you talk with anyone and they ask how you are, be fantastic. It's really infectious, and people like talking to positive people. You may also help others who feel down when you sound more upbeat and lively. Lastly, don't worry. Many experts say it's okay to spend 10 to 30 minutes a day worrying, but set a time limit and then say to yourself, okay, time's over, I'm going to snap out of it and get back on to doing what I've got planned for today, my tasks, whatever they may be. Finally, I will say, if you still feel depressed or down for any reason, talk to some friends, talk to family. And there's also other people out there who will happily help you. There's lots of support lines. Use them. We're all in this together. We can get through this and we'll come out stronger.